Alright, this is gonna be like a slight tutorial on just like the basics of Scout. So I'm gonna assume you probably have played some of the game, probably some Scout, but you just don't know what to do yet. So obviously you could tell Scout is a pretty fast character, fastest in the game. His scatter gun is obviously his main thing, and so is his pistol. You've probably noticed whenever you hit an enemy, they take a lot of damage. That's 102. And then, yeah, you kill about most enemies in one shot, unless you add a heavy. Unless there's a heavy, because heavies will take 2 shots. I meant 3, not 2. Every class takes 2, except for heavy. Heavy's a 3. But you also probably notice his health is really low. Lowest for a combat class in the game. What I mean by combat class is I don't count engineer, spy, or sniper as combat classes. This is a stealth class, sniper class, and supportive class. But scout is obviously an offensive class. Your main role as scout is to kind of pick off certain enemies. Like if we add a medic, no. So if we add a medic, who should like, nope, that was a bit of a misclick. And heavy. So now I have all of these. In this situation, let's say the medic is healing the heavy, and this guy is running away. Your main goal: take out the highest priority. I should show priorities right on here. Priorities mainly go medic, whatever power class medic is healing, and then people like on the flank, like or a pyro or something, because pyro, like, your team can take him out pretty quick, so you don't gotta worry about that. You have a really high point blank damage. Like, look at this. That is 104 per shot. That is over 208 damage. But you might also know pistol. The pistol exists. Let's say there's a enemy from a distance, but you can't get to him because it's team. Then just you can maybe pistol them down. Try to use your movement and double jump to take him out and get out. So basically, your movement is also insanely important as scout. You can double jump, which, seems like, oh, I can just go for it and jump more, but don't. If you're gonna use your double jump effectively, either use it from getting to point A to point B, or use it for when you're fighting somebody and you need to change direction quickly so they can't hit you. That is what your speed is for. Your speed is for if you sneak up behind somebody, you shoot them. They're not gonna just stand still and ignore it. They're gonna turn around probably. So you gotta use your movement to your advantage and try to land another shot. Like that. I did mess up that first shot. You also might know the reload time is pretty long. Like if I just run out of ammo, that's a long time for me to not be able to shoot, especially in a first-person shooter. So that's why you have 6 shots. You can easily take out that was a crit. 1, 2, 3. Boom, and then all my ammo is gone. You can take out normally about 3 to 4 targets before needing to run away. You're not really going to be like, oh, I'm going to deal with this guy, then that guy, then that guy. It's not going to be like that. You kind of want to kill one, then run away, because, hearing your medic scream from dying, that draws a little bit of attention. Like in this moment, if I just kill the medic, scout and heavy, they get me. But if I'm right here and I sneak behind, get the medic, and then I run away, I have a higher chance of living, and I can use my movement to get away faster. So, alright, let's talk about some counters against scout. Heavy can be a pretty good counter because at like mid to long range, Heavy can get you. He doesn't have super high damage output at those ranges. Well, I mean, not at long range. But since, you know, you do kind of like mid damage from over here, he could pretty easily mow you down, especially if you're running just towards him. He has to track you. So if you can just not make him track you, unless he's just really good and he can predict your movements, you're kind of just dead, honestly. Yeah. He's honestly kind of a counter. I'd say more of a soft counter. Now, the real counter is Engineer. Why? I want you to guess why. Sentries. Let me just add in Engineer real quick. Add in effect. We need a melee. Let's just say Jag, I guess. Jag, okay. You aren't holding the Jag. Okay, whatever. I don't know how to do this. I don't do this all the time. So now you have an Engineer. He doesn't seem like a counter. You can kill him pretty easily in head-to-head combat, especially with your movement. But he also has a shotgun, like a lot of other classes. His is also a primary, but he can build sentries, as hopefully you would know. Let me switch to Engineer. Me. Look at me go. Holy. He can just build a sentry. This counter scout, as you would probably know, the reason this counter scout is because it has auto aim, so he can't dodge. But if you want to dodge sentries, then let's talk about some unlockables. Unlockables are, you know, not a major thing. You can see I'm using this secondary. It's actually more, I don't really care about, when does this turn into a kill streak? I don't really care about sentries. I can just get past them pretty easily. Your melees also, you know, surprisingly, are more of a utility based. And your primaries, all close range, except for this one. This one's a little bit special. So your secondaries, you know, these are going to be the things that get it. But you see, there's only 4 pistols and one more thing that can actually deal damage. How could I possibly deal with sentries with just this loadout? I have like 80 wingers. What happened? First, let's talk about like stock pistol. Let's say there's just a sentry. There's just a sentry. It's right there. Let's say from a distance, like over here, I could try to pistol it down. The Engineer might be there and giving it more health. So that really isn't a good idea. So what you can do is use unlockables. First, let me actually just go into here. Scout cannot use the Jag. Crazy, I know. Let's say you're trying to use like the Rap Assassin, which is gonna be somewhere. Oh no, let's talk about the Bonk. The Bonk is gonna be like what most. Where the fuck did the enemies go? So the Bonk is gonna be like the main thing that people, you know, try to do. Which, yeah, sure, go ahead. But it doesn't really make sense. Like, if there's a sentry, yeah, you could drink it. If you don't know what the Bonk does, it makes you invulnerable for 8 seconds, but you can attack. So what you can do is you can drink it, go throughout the flank, get hit a couple of times, and just run by. You know? Average. Fun fact. If you get hit, crazy. If you get hit by like, let's say like a heavy. Is he gonna fire his weapon? Is he gonna fire it? So let's say we drink our Bonk and we get hit. Okay, we get hit a little bit, you know, average down. Stop that. And so now we're slow. To speed up, you can just rapidly press A and D to stop the slow effect. This works as every class. Can I add time? But basically, yeah. Next, most people will try to use stuff like the Winger and Pretty Pocket Boy's pistol. They have smaller clip size, so it doesn't actually do as good. Because I don't think the higher damage does anything to sentries. Mad Milk doesn't do anything, and Criticolor will cause nothing. Your best thing to just do against sentries is just go away. Because most of them, they'll be on the point. Which brings me to another thing. Scout is a flanker. You know, main enemies, main stuff, flank. He'll go back. He'll do like stuff like that, you know? Average. Okay, I'm about to run out of time for this. I should have added 5 bajillion. So you probably get some of his counters. Like what counters? Scout. But who does Scout counter? Well, matters what style you're playing. Alright, I think they should all be in. Yeah. Okay, so this is every class. I probably added 2 heavies, I think. Nope, only 1. So, you'll see, you can kill all of these classes in 2 hits. Besides this one, obviously, as I have mentioned. So, everybody kind of counters Spy a little bit. Except for Heavy. So you can just... That's one you counter. Demo Man. Demo Man is also... That's more of a soft counter. Hard counter, hard counter. The reason you... hard counter those two is because good HP, but like really bad at close range. This guy is only projectiles, which I'll talk about when I do Demo Man. And I believe, yep, I am. And basically, if he's up close, he'll blow himself up. If you can't place stickies because detonation time. And his melee, okay, his melee isn't that bad. But you just pretty easily clean house with Demo Man if you're good enough. Medic, because Medic is like unable to defend himself really, like against scouts, because he can just go, because he'll just do that and then run away. So yeah, Sniper. So yeah, Sniper, you can also quickly clean house with them. They're not really good to close range unless they have bushwhacker. Pyro is a pretty slow class, so you can just outrun him. And then go, hey. Yeah, also since he doesn't have burst damage, like, he has one where you have to hold it down and go, like that, which is worse most of the time. So what you can do is you can take advantage of corners. If there was a Pyro chasing me, I can go behind a corner. Since he'll have to start hitting me, I could just... And he'll die, and I get to keep going without worry. Can't say the same for enemy scouts. It kind of matters which team they're on. Like, if they're on... Like, if you're on defense as scout, that's not going to be too good most of the time. Because, like, there's just going to be, you know, spawn right there. You know, you try to flank. Oh, nope, they're already there. You and a scout might come across. This is the only fair battle. I mean, kind of matters what unlocks you're using, but if you're both using all stock, it just matters to who has better aim, double jump abilities, and movement. Yeah. Soldier is kind of like a matchup for you. He can easily take you out with just a direct hit rocket, or just like a direct hit, the weapon. And he can take you out with 2 hits of the rocket launcher. But he also has a shotgun secondary, unlike us who has a primary. So if you get too close, he doesn't have to worry like Demo Man. He could just... But he might not be using that. So he might have to pull out his melee. Which also, like every class, has a high chance to random crit. He's kind of a counter to you. I already mentioned Pyro, Demo Man, Heavy, Engineer. Have I missed a class? Nope. Yeah, it's kind of all about Scout. Except for unlocks.
Yeah, thanks. Let's go! Ready!